Hello everyone, welcome to KIVA EBULAYA Visa Tips. My name's Salome Namble, Mama Pitmov. How are you doing? So today's program is powered by Chakula Tamu. It's an East African food store located at 1690 Eglinton Avenue. The major intersection is Dufferin and Eglinton. This is the best store that will have the best food for you if you're African or you love African food. They have matoke, soya, kawunga, kalo, name it. They can be contacted at 416-246-9595. You can also follow them on their Instagram or Facebook. Wonderful food. So in today's program, I have a special guest for you. I have a licensed immigration lawyer all the way from Uganda, but practicing in Canada as well as Uganda. When I say licensed, okay, immigration lawyer. So you're gonna meet the lawyer in just a few seconds after this ad. Welcome back to KIVA EBULAYA Visa Tips. Once again, my name is Salome, and right now I'm going to introduce my guest. Hello, Counsel James Lutaya. We are so honored to have you on KIVA EBULAYA Visa Tips. Thank you so much for allowing to come here. Counsel James, welcome to KIVA EBULAYA Visa Tips. The viewers are so excited to have you here today. So kindly please let us know, how is it important to use an immigration lawyer when applying for a travel visa versus using your friend, your buddy, an agent, or anybody that doesn't have maybe experience in immigration like yourself?
Okay, so thank you very much, Salome, for hosting me. I'm very happy to be here and I greet all the viewers. So your question is very simple. It talks about when you want to apply for a visa to Canada, more or less, where do you go to? And before I talk about the role of the lawyer, we have to understand that there are three roles and there are three people in this process. And the analogy I usually use is, if you have a basic disease, would you go to a traditional healer? Would you go to a nurse, or would you go to a doctor? All right, and that's how you can compare. You can either use someone, like you said, a friend, or someone on Loom Street, or one of those people who say that they know about immigration.
Yes.
Or you can also use a consultant, or you can use a lawyer. Now, those three roles are completely different. Wow. So how different are they?
Yes.
The traditional healer, who I refer to as a traditional healer, is a person who believes they know some bit of immigration law. They've never studied it, but somehow they've done one application or two and they were successful, and now they call themselves experts.
Yes.
Now, those are the most dangerous people to use, not because they might not get you a visa acceptance, but because they don't really understand the law as it changes. And as you know, Canadian law changes almost every day.
True.
So you find that there is over 75% visa refusal rates in Uganda, and it's not because people don't have the requirements. It's just because they use people who are either on Loom Street, or a friend, or someone who came and they think now they know the law, and when they do that, they miss out on those small details that help people get visas. Okay, so that's one of the people I wouldn't recommend.
Yes.
Definitely. Now, an immigration consultant is a very, very good person to use for immigration visas, because they have actually studied to get that license. They are licensed, and there's a very big difference between being unlicensed and licensed. I'll explain it. So, An immigration consultant has done an immigration consultancy diploma.
Yes.
They've studied the immigration rules, the act,
yes,
ministerial instructions, so they have an all-round idea on what is required. Before they are licensed, they do exams, and they are found to be fit to give immigration advice, but also to apply for applications.
yes.
So for a person who wants to just submit an application, I think an immigration consultant is a very good resource because they are very well knowledgeable, they are licensed, so they have to do continuous professional development classes, as you know, and they give an all-round service, all
Yes.
right? And I highly recommend them, and I find actually they are better administrative workers than lawyers, because lawyers per se really like supervising administrative work.
Okay.
So then we get to the lawyer. Now, why would Ugandans use a lawyer, or other people applying from all over the world who are
Yes.
watching? Why you use a lawyer is that a lawyer is the highest legal threshold you can use, while a consultant can very willingly and ably apply for your visa. The problem becomes when they have applied for your visa, their work is done, right?
That's
Now,
the lawyer.
that's a consultant.
That's a consultant.
So, should they refuse your visa, which we shall talk about, I presume,
yeah.
then what happens? The consultant cannot appeal on your behalf,
Oh.
right? No, they can't. They are not licensed
Last
to
to appeal.
make an appeal, because an appeal goes to the Federal Court of Canada, and the only people who can go to the Federal Court are lawyers, all right?
Yes.
So, what happens if you come and they have refused and they have to deport you, right?
Yes.
A consultant cannot do what they call a stay of removal, which a lawyer can do, right?
Yes.
And there are many other things like pre-removal risk assessment, which a consultant can do, but a lawyer would be in a better position to do. There are other things like humanitarian compassionate leave. So a lawyer gives you a wholesome picture of where you might start to the end. And also he talks about what if things go wrong, then what?
Yes.
You see, because a consultant might say, I'm going to apply for a visa, and believe you me, I've dealt with consultants like you, Solomon, and they do a very good job, and most often you get the visa.
Yes.
But then there's that added insurance.
Yeah.
That if things go wrong, then a lawyer can come in.
Yes.
All right? And that's why you see teams that work with a consultant and a lawyer really work very well, because they have a general picture. So long story short, don't use Loom Street people, don't use friends, don't use people who think they know the law, don't use people because they have a friend who works at the embassy.
Yes.
They have no responsibility, no accountability. I'll give a quick point out to people. What happens if you use those people and they refuse your visa? What happens?
Oh, they always tell you it's not guarantee. Once things are paid, they always some of these people, like the traditional heroes you said, they will be like, give me 15 million, I'm going to take you to Canada. They don't even give you the other side, that there is a no part. That's what I always tell people here, our viewers, that a visa, it's not a guarantee.
Yeah.
So the witch doctors that you say, they will assume it's a guarantee.
Yeah.
Then the consultation, maybe sometimes they will tell you it's not a guarantee. It depends on how and what kind of visa they are applying for you, by the way. So now here is a quick one that I want to ask you. How useful or how important is it to use an immigration lawyer when applying for a visa, for a travel visa? Simply because our ordinary way, the way we know how to apply for the visas, if you get somebody who knows how to do the visa and then helps you out, or you get an agent, or you get somebody who has traveled. But how important is it to apply through an immigration lawyer like yourself?
Okay. So they would come to a law firm because, one, the lawyer is accountable to a regulatory body. So before you become a lawyer, you have to do exams.
Yes.
And you also have to license through the Law Society of Ontario, or whichever province you're practicing. So why that is helpful is just what I told you before. You mentioned that, is that what happens if you have a conflict with the lawyer? What happens if they take your money and don't do the job?
Yeah.
Then you can go to the law society and then make a complaint, right?
Okay.
If you use a consultant as well, you go to the Immigration Canadian Council, ICCRC,
yeah.
and then you make a claim,
Okay.
right? That is the difference. That a lawyer is accountable than using people who are not licensed, right?
Okay.
But also they are more knowledgeable in terms of the general law, not just immigration, because there are other aspects to immigration. And
okay, but another thing that scares my audience away from people like yourself is the fees.
Yes.
It's funny.
Yes.
For example, your firm, can you just give us a little bit of an idea about the fees?
Yes.
Because it's so funny that when somebody thinks of going to a lawyer for a visa, it will be like, those people are going to ask me for whatever millions. But a witch doctor, con man dressed so well in a suit, some people are funny, they'll somehow give and trust that man that money. So can you enlighten us, is it affordable to actually apply, for example, like a tourist visa, a student visa, any kind of visa through a law firm, is it affordable?
So yes, it's. I can speak for myself, Solomon. I can't speak for other lawyers.
Yes.
But you see, what I believe strongly in life is, you really get what you paid for, right? You get what you paid for. So
that's a hard one.
It's a bit a hard one, but also lawyers, like you said, we have an obligation to give back. Yes. Especially if we come from countries like Uganda and continents like Africa or Asia, where people are not as well off as first world countries.
Yes.
Okay. So averagely, I will tell you that, for instance, a tourist visa, my legal fees are $1,500.
US? Is this US?
Yeah, US dollars.
Okay.
But I do not know many consultants that will charge that.
Yes.
Or even not witch doctors, Solomon, but traditional healers, as we call them, because also these people who just help people at times, understand.
So $1,500 would be like how much in Ugandan shillings?
5.5 million, right?
5.5 million?
Yeah.
So if you've been right there and you've been spending more than 5 million on somebody that is not trustworthy, on witch doctors, somebody on the Rome Street, here you go, James is right here. Wow, that is good.
Yeah.
Actually, when you think of a law firm, I was expecting to be like 5+ millions. It's so surprising.
So Solomon, like I said, lawyers have a duty, first of all, to make legal services available to people. So we have an obligation also not to discriminate clients because they can't afford or because they can afford.
Okay.
And that's why we do pro bono work at times. That even when clients can't afford at times, we take on those cases either for free or at a reduced fee.
Okay. And now another type of audience that, because I'm asking you because my audience, sometimes they come to me, please help me, I want to go to Canada, take me, I wish I can take that over. But another concern is the language. The language. Most of people get scared away from a law firm or from an institution like yourself because they'll be like, oh, I don't know English, I can't speak English, how will I? Like, let me just use the local language. It's for the elites. So how is that?
So again, that's why I encourage Ugandans to use Ugandan lawyers, first of all, and also Africans generally, or wherever you come from, to use lawyers that come from where you come from,
where you can
because
yourself.
There is a connection, first and foremost of all. We submit your applications, and I hope you submit clients' applications. So we have the duty to prepare those documents for the clients. We have a duty to write a submission on their behalf. Now, when we are dealing with those clients, of course, if you want to go native and speak a language you can speak. I speak Luganda, for instance. I speak Swahili, and when I get clients who speak those languages, Rwandese, and they want to kind of go native, then we can engage natively. So they shouldn't look at lawyers as very educated.
Yeah, it's so scary.
Lawyers are not expensive, honestly, and clients I've worked on can testify that I always try to be flexible with my prices. Another thing is, most lawyers, like I do, we put our prices out there for everyone to see. So before you even come to us, you know what fees we are charging. And then it's okay for clients to, of course, compare prices. But at the end of the day, you want to get a quality service. And having explained the different roles, I feel that clients get, you know, a better service if they use lawyers, to be honest.
Thank you so much, James. Now my last question I'm going to ask. A lot, like you said, there's a very big percentage of people being denied, especially the tourist visa. Yeah. Everybody, I don't know why, a lot of people are so much interested in tourist visas, much as they could have another idea, maybe the work permit, or a lot of people also are interested in a work permit. Like I get a lot of questions asking how they can come when they already have a job in Canada. So the most popular visas that people have are student visa, the tourist visa, and the work permit visa, right? But those visas, once you get denied, what is next? You've lost 5 million, 10 million. Yeah. What is it? Because they give you this automated generated letter, or you have 30 days to appeal. If you don't appeal with the decision, you don't agree with the decision. So what would you advise somebody who has got that denial once, twice, third, or fourth, five?
Okay, so actually when clients get refusal letters, they don't advise them to appeal. They actually say that if you want to address these concerns, reapply. Okay? And the embassies do it specifically, not because they don't know that people have a right to appeal, but because very often they're not, it's in the interest of the embassies, especially financially, if clients reapply. Okay? Because then they pay a government fee and then it goes to the embassy. Yeah. So you find that most people, when they refuse them visas, their only solution as far as they're concerned is to reapply. Now, that is the worst thing you could do actually, just reapply. Because you see, when you refuse the visa, the first thing you're supposed to do is to get what they call the officer's detailed notes. Okay? Because as you saw that later, it just tells you refused because of proof of funds, you refused because of purpose of travel, but they don't explain what that means.
So,
right?
But those are the reasons.
So those are the brief reasons.
Oh.
Now, behind those brief reasons, they are what they call detailed reasons.
Oh.
Before a government officer makes a decision on finances, they have to explain why they say you don't have enough finances. Okay? Before they make a decision on saying you don't have purpose of travel, they have to have reasons behind it. Now, those reasons, you can only get them through what they call a freedom of information application. And that is made in Canada. So when you refuse the visa, the first thing you should do is apply for freedom of information to get the officer's detailed notes.
Oh.
All right? Very, very important. Now, when you get those notes, which you get within 1 month, those notes will advise you, they will guide you actually, where you can see, no, here I messed up,
yeah, you know, was right.
These papers were less or whatever it is. Or you can read them and you think, no, this person actually was just being prejudiced, was being biased, and was unfair. Okay? So when you get those notes back, then you have two choices. You can either reapply, but now you address the concerns which you've seen, not those small ones, but the detailed ones. Or you're going to say, no, 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 this was unfair, I need to appeal it. Okay? Now, the reason why actually most of my clients, I insist that they appeal is because when they come through a lawyer, we do not submit an application until we are sure that the clients have met all the requirements. So when they refuse, because embassies refuse, and they can refuse, then 99% of the times we appeal. Now, why do we appeal? We appeal because if you do not appeal, that stays on your immigration history for life.
Oh, wow.
For life. And that doesn't only affect you if you want to come to Canada in the future, but it also affects you if you're going to apply to any other country, like America, like Britain, like Germany, like Sweden. Why? Because these countries share information.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, if the decision is unfair, you have to appeal it. And when you appeal it, then that is when it comes to the federal court in Canada. Okay?
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, James. Thank you so much, Counsel. This has been so informative. So my viewers, I'm going to let Counsel James retire. By the way, he's Uganda. I'm so proud. He's from my country. And at the same time, he's Canadian. So good things come from Canada. I always tell you guys. So I'm going to let Counsel James retire, give you his contacts, tells you what services he can do for you. and more information will be down there. Please don't overwhelm him, be nice to him, and yes, so please
yeah, thank you very much, Salome. I'm hoping thank you viewers for listening in. I'm hoping that you found this session very useful in as far as the topic of discussion was concerned. We are based in Uganda at Rainbow International School. We are also opening up offices in Kisasi, and we have offices in Vancouver and in Toronto. So we try to be as available as possible. Kindly contact us through the information Salome is going to provide. We are on Facebook, we have a website, we have emails, and Salome will be providing that as soon as possible. We shall be looking to help you from Uganda before you even travel, so that by the time you come to Canada, you know, everything you want to do is set and is ready. And we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for watching this program. I hope it has been so beneficial to you. If you need more information about Council James, I'm gonna leave his details below. If he requires an email like he has told you to, or a phone or anything, please follow the instructions. You know, sometimes you guys can overwhelm somebody with questions and everything. So he has given you all the instructions. Please follow the instructions. His contacts are there. Keep watching, keep following, and if you know anybody that will really love this video, that it will be beneficial, please share like we do. If you think we've missed anything, me and Council James, please type it down, comment there, and I love you so much. Thank you for watching Chiva Ebulaya Visa Tips. I can't wait to see you next time. Bye for now.